Tourette's is really contagious if you already have it.
Slapping myself across the face.
I hated that one.
When your brain, your neurology makes you say stuff that hurts people when you don't want to do that, that's the worst thing. It's honestly horrible and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. How do you think I feel? It's like, this is 24/7 for me. I understand that it's not funny anymore. I'm tired too, all right? This is relax. Imagine what I look like when I'm stressed. Oh my God. You're an ugly baby, kill the baby or squeeze the baby. The babies don't mind. The mothers usually don't like it, but... Welcome to Boneitch. My name is Luca and I make videos about what it's like to live with Tourette's. And today we're going to do a reaction video. It is a reaction to the BBC video, What Not to Say to Someone with Tourette's, that came out I think in 2018. To be honest, I have seen it before. I saw it when it just came out, but I don't really remember much of it, and I think it'd be fun to react to it, so that's what we're going to do. But before we start, if you're new here and you're interested in learning more about Tourette's, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload at least weekly, and I'd love for you to join our little Boneitch club. We have a lot of fun here, so yeah, let's do this. Hey! Of course, the original video will be linked in the description box as well, so you can watch it there. It's always so weird putting on these headphones because it feels like I'm in an entirely different world, but all right, let's get into it.
Do you really think that?
Oh my God, wait! I have to go back already. Okay, if you just want to watch the video, look at the video that's linked in the description, because I'm going to stop it a lot and just talk about it. But I know her, the person on the left, that's Claire, that's a friend of mine. I love her. I actually didn't realize that she was in his video. So, because I met her after I watched the original video a couple of years ago. So yeah, oh my God.
Do you really think that?
You just need to relax, Ash.
What's it like when you're drunk?
You're so embarrassing!
Hey-o! This is going to get spicy, isn't it?
Okay. This is exactly the one that should be in there 10 times over.
If you really had Tourette's, you'd be swearing. God!
Cockatoo! Ayo! So that's Jack Francis. I know who he is because I love his content as well. Ayo! But yeah, no, that is one of the most common still misunderstandings about Tourette's, is that everyone with Tourette's swears, and that's called coprolalia. Ayo! It's a specific type of tic that is not even that common. It only affects about 15% of people with Tourette's at most. So no, to have Tourette's, you don't have to swear. I do have those tics, but not that often anymore. But no, not everyone with Tourette's swears.
Why aren't you swearing?
It's only a small percentage of people with Tourette's actually swear.
Only 10% of people with Tourette's swear.
What proportion?
Yeah, so they say 10%, 10, 15%, 13%. There are, of course, loads of different studies that say different percentages, but it's only a fraction of people. Of course, depends on who you ask and which study you look at. But I've not seen a study that said more than 15%. If they are out there, let me know. But not everyone. That's the the gist of it.
Of vocal and what proportion of physical?
Most of my tics aren't swear words.
Yeah.
You reckon it's half and half? I reckon half. Come on! Half and half.
Is it about...
So that the question about like what percentage of your tics are motor tics and which are vocal tics. So in order for you to have Tourette's, you need to have both vocal and motor tics. So tics that have to do something with sound, and those are the vocal tics, and ones that have to do with movement, the motor tics. You have to have both. There are other tic disorders where you only need to have motor tics or vocal tics. I'll link a video that I made about that right there. And but you don't need to have those all of the time. They don't have to be there At the same time, for me personally, my motor tics are definitely worse. I have motor tics pretty much constantly. The ones with my hands, the ones with my jaw at the moment are really bothering me. But that one is a vocal tic because it makes sound. And yeah, I have that too. I don't know what the percentage is for me. It depends on the situation, whether I'm talking, like when I'm talking to a camera or when I'm talking in general, I'll have more vocal tics. But when I'm just at home, just doing my own thing, being silent, I don't really have that many vocal tics. So yeah, it really differs from person to person. So if you have Tourette, what is it like for you? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Engagement. Hey.
Vocal tics like echolalia, which is the compulsion to repeat things that you've heard.
The last couple of weeks I've been repeating a lot of like what Conor McGregor says.
Also random words, pasta, lemon.
You have a different one every couple of months.
More common is, I would say, is motor tics.
Stretch my leg out, stretch my arm out.
Yeah, so vocal tics, they don't even have to be full words. They can just be a sound. They can just be like that one, or whistling or coughing or something like that. It doesn't have to be a word. Saying a whole word is considered a more complex tic because you're saying an entire word, and they can be completely random. I think that lately I've had one that was stop, shop, shop, stop, which is really difficult to say on purpose, but apparently as a tic it works. I don't know where these words come from. I think it's really fascinating, but it doesn't have to be swear words. It doesn't even have to be words. And then, yeah, motor tics.
Slapping myself across the face.
Oh, I hated that one.
Clench my bum, which is awful.
They can get quite painful.
Literally doing these as you're...
Yeah. This is the demonstration.
Yeah, so I hit myself. No, but it's when you start talking about your tics that usually triggers your tics, and that is actually quite common, and especially when you're with someone who also has tics, or even just watch someone who also has tics. I know people in the comments, people that I recognize now that I love very much, that tell me the conundrum they're in, like they want to watch a video about Tourette's because they like the recognition, but they also don't want to trigger themselves by watching it, and I really get that. Tourette's is really contagious if you already have it.
Running along and I was screwing up my eyes really tight, and the canal path sort of zigzagged a bit, and I just ran straight in.
Also, with the bum tic, I'd like to think I've got a more toned bum because I'm like constantly exercising.
I did some jazz hands for a while. I really liked that one because it was so like harmless.
Thumbs up, peace, rock.
Dancing.
Okay, I love Claire. Okay, so I went on a Tourette camp in 2019, so the year before we couldn't go anymore, and that's where I met Claire, and we did yoga. She did a yoga class, and she is such a lovely, like, calm, beautiful person, and she would just sit there, and I think she said something like, "Namaste, motherfuckers," and it was lovely.
Around on the spot.
Making me go.
Put your right arm in.
There we are. We'd be really good at that.
Hey, Macarena.
You're so embarrassing.
People
Fuck
have
off.
called me embarrassing before.
Have they?
Yes, it's not been very nice to be honest.
No.
Well, I'm embarrassing even without the Tourette's. But that's like, it's the annoying bit. Like, I'll be at a party and I have tics that where I like repeat something that someone says and say like, no, you are a, I don't know, if they talk about bananas, I'll say, no, you're a banana. And at first it's funny, but then at like 2 a.m. at night, everyone's like, yeah, now it's not funny anymore. Like, yeah, I know, it's that I can't stop. It's not, I mean, how do you think I feel? It's like, this is 24/7 for me. I understand that it's not funny anymore. I'm tired too, all right?
Why are you embarrassed?
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever had that?
At school, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, all the time.
Do you think it's embarrassing for you?
It can be embarrassing, definitely.
It's so awkward.
Think about how it feels for us.
I don't know about embarrassing, but the most awkward is obviously shouting bomb on an aeroplane.
I had an incident.
I've done that, yeah. I think it's the standard, the most like classic Tourette story, shouting bomb in an airport. I had it when I went to a went to a party or a concert and there was a bouncer outside and he searched me because, of course, with my jaw, tics and everything, I already look a bit suspicious. And, you know, I live in the Netherlands. So that is logically the first thing that a bouncer thinks. Yeah, we need to search that guy. And they started patting me down and I looked him straight in the eye and I said, I have a lot of drugs on me. And then I tried to explain that, I'm sorry, I have Tourette's, I can't help it. And he just said, well, everyone says that. And I'm like, how? I can't do anything right. And that's, I don't know, is it embarrassing? It's frustrating. I'm not easily embarrassed because, you know, hey.
Last week where a Chinese lady asked me for directions, so I responded in Chinese accent. So straight away embarrassed after.
Oh yeah, that's painful. It's so painful when you have tics that insult people in a way that you don't want to insult them. Like, that is the worst thing. I had a friend tell me something very personal, a very personal traumatic story, and I had a tic and I looked her dead in the eyes and I told her, you deserve that. And even though she knew that it was a tic, I could see that it hurt her, and I hate that. That's the bit. Tourette's can be funny and quirky, and these types of videos are really good at making it informational and lighthearted and funny at the same time, but it can really be painful. And I don't know, sometimes people say, oh, I'd love to have Tourette's because then I could just say whatever I wanted. It's the opposite of that. It's not having control over what you're saying. When your brain, your neurology makes you say stuff that hurts people when you don't want to do that, that's the worst thing. It's honestly horrible and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So yeah, I don't know.
I used to have this one which is, you're a fuckface and I hate you.
I
so
hate
it was like
you too.
a whole sentence.
Mine's just accidentally punching people. And
Bomb!
Bomb! Bombs and
that would be a
bananas.
good place to end.
Yes.
Are you mental?
Was that a tick or was that?
I don't know.
Oh, but is that a tic? I don't know. In a mood. At some point, you just don't know anymore. It's just too much. So yeah, that happens. But are you mental? Well, I am, but Tourette's does. Okay, the official answer. Tourette's is not a psychological condition. It's a neurological condition. It's neuropsychiatric. I already started drinking wine, so I'm not that good at pronouncing the words anymore. It's not my first language, okay? Forgive me. Quick sip. But neuropsychiatric. So it is neurological, but it has psychiatric parts to it. I have better videos about this, but it's a neurological condition, so it's not a psychological condition. And even if it was, to say that, oh, are you mental? Are you crazy? Don't say that to anyone, all right? Just don't.
I'm a little bit mental, are you?
Yeah, I've been asked it many times, are you mental? Been directly asked, are you mental?
It is a neurological condition, it's not mental health.
It is based on your brain, but it's got the physical aspect as well.
But that's the same case with people with dyslexia, with dyspraxia.
I didn't know this, I thought I was mentally ill.
You might be as well.
I love him. I absolutely love him. Jack Francis. If you don't, I mean, I don't think he posts a lot anymore, but he's quite active on, I think, on Instagram. I'm not active on Instagram, so I'm not sure. But he has some absolutely great videos. I absolutely love the guy. Heyo!
Just not necessarily because of the Tourette's.
You're just an attention seeker.
Oh, please. Heyo! I've had people say this to me, which is frustrating, but I don't, first of all, just know, and it's, again, it's an honest to God, honest to science disability. It's a neurological condition. And I often make an analogy or comparison to someone with epilepsy or some other disability, which you just go up to them and tell them, you're just an attention seeker. I'm sure that there are people that will do that. And I mean, I don't know. I don't have brain capacity or patience for that. But no, Tourette's is not just ayo for attention. It is quite the opposite. It is exhausting. And yeah, no, just no. I can't. It's no.
You get a lot of unwanted attention when you have Tourette's.
Quite painful actually, because you don't know what's going on yourself.
Lots of people stare at you, like frown at you, back away from you.
I wish I was, so I could stop.
That's exactly the thing, isn't it? Because actually you don't want the attention.
I want to go.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't help it. You can't stop it. Like, to be honest, I mean, I'm on the internet. I make YouTube videos. I don't hate attention or something. Like, of course, but then it's things that you decide to do. I love attention when I dress up for something or when I do like a drag thing and people commenting. Sure, I love that. But that's the stuff that I put effort in, that I try to do. But getting attention for something you have no control over, which is completely scary because you have no idea what's going to happen next. That's not. No one wants that attention, honestly. No.
It's a theatre or and I have a meeting. The last thing I want to be doing is like.
Do you really think that?
So I really hate
That
when
question.
people ask me.
No, you don't really think that. Okay. So tics can be related to AO, to a context, right? So like, for example, shouting bomb when you're fuck up. When you're at an airport, shouting bomb when you're at an airport is related to the place where you're at, right? But it's not something you were secretly thinking. Like, in general, most of my verbal tics have nothing to do with what I was thinking. I shout bananas and cockatoos a lot. I don't really think about that often. I don't even know what a shop stop is, but I tic it. But there are tics that are related to your reality or to the context of where you're at. But it doesn't mean that you were secretly thinking it. It was just, your brain makes a connection. And there are things that are called like truth tics. I think I talked about that in the video about, or was it the spectrum one? I'll link it up there. And there are tics that loads of people with Tourette's have. Again, not everyone. There are truth tics where you just say something that you really mean. But quite often they are quite like silly ones. Like if I would see myself, I would point at them and tell them, you have blue eyes, which is true. But it's not like insulting. I don't really have those tics where I'll insult or say something horrible about someone that I was secretly thinking. Beginner level Tourette's awareness, just assume that it has nothing to do with what they are thinking, even though there's some nuance to that, but no.
If I really think what I'm ticking.
Probably may get offended if I was, giving them the one finger salute.
That wasn't really Tourette's, that was just.
I could never get offended by Claire. Oh my God. She has amazing dance stuff. I'll see if I can find it and I'll link it or in the description. I'll see if I can find it and maybe I can react to it. She did a wonderful dance project about Tourette's and it gave me chills the first time I watched it and probably every time I watch it. So honestly, I love her. I love Claire. I miss you, Claire.
What you were thinking, you thought that guy was a bastard, didn't you?
You're a bastard.
No.
There's no logic at all.
No.
It just happens.
Really odd.
It's a spillage of uncontrolled verbal stuff that comes out the mouth.
Yeah, once I was by a load of kids, they were on a school trip or something. It's quite funny. I said, you're a little shit, you're a little shit.
You're a little shit.
But I didn't mind them at all. They were very cute.
I have baby tics. When I see a baby, I usually say, you're an ugly baby, kill the baby or squeeze the baby. The babies don't mind. The mothers usually don't like it, but hey.
Nice little.
I don't actually want to hurt the baby. But, tics.
And I don't want to say it majority of the time, but it's just crosses in my mind.
Yeah.
Whether it's an intrusive thought or whatever.
Yeah, it's an intrusive thought. It's not something you really think.
It's like your Tourette's goes out of its way to mortify you, basically.
You just need to relax.
Oh, thank you. I'm cured. You just need to relax. So I think that the reason that the reason that some people think that is that there is something called nervous tics. So when they think of Tourette's as a tic disorder, they think, oh well, you just shouldn't be nervous. But even though tics can be made worse when you're nervous or when you're really stressed, it is not related necessarily to being stressed or anything. It's not a nervous tic. It is, again, a neurological condition that just makes you do this. When I'm really relaxed, just chilling right there, doing nothing, I still tic. It doesn't really stop. Yeah, no.
You telling me that, or?
Yeah, no, that's not good.
Well, that's what I think it is.
Response.
And most people don't understand, you just can't turn it off.
Take a breath.
Take
Oh,
a deep
people
breath.
used to say it all the time.
Namaste, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean that does help
I
when
am
you start to
breathing.
panic.
Are we ticking and are we going in the face? And I'm like, just chill, man, chill,
Yeah.
chill. I'm like, bro, I can't
It's up
fucking
there
chill.
with like cheer up.
If I relax, I find that
Yeah, it's. I think what he said, like telling someone with depression, just be happy, or I don't know, someone who is paralyzed, just walk. I mean, it's not that difficult. Just walk. Come on. Okay, that's not a good analogy because it's not because we're not relaxed. We are relaxed. That's it. This is relaxed. Imagine what I look like when I'm stressed. Oh my god.
my Tourette's is worse.
Yes.
I don't tic very much when I'm totally absorbed in something.
You have to find that middle ground of not stressed and not doing anything.
Yeah.
If you can hold it in.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing. Like when you're really focused on something, usually people with Tourette's and other tic disorders will have something that when they do it, when they're really into it, they don't really tic or don't tic at all. There are loads of people with Tourette's that when they make music, they don't really tic, which is really cool. Ayo! I have it usually when I'm coding. When I'm editing, I don't really tic that much, even though I do a little bit. But yeah, those are lovely moments.
That's knackering. Like my 90% of my focus every day is on trying to manage it.
I can suppress them quite a bit from a busy environment, but then obviously has like the negative effect then for when I get back home then, and let them out then and just end up just like a volcano exploding.
So funny.
You need to take your meds.
I'm not on meds, and no one owes you that. I mean, you don't have to take meds if you don't want to. There are medication options for people with Tourette's, but they're not like light medication. They're not specifically for Tourette's. There are things like antipsychotic medications, things like that can help. And for some people, they're great. For me, they're not. It's not an option. And lots of people just don't want them. And I mean, it's my brain. I should be able to decide whether I want medication or not. Ayo! And I think it kind of ties into the "are you mental" type of comment. Like, you're just crazy. And we're not. It's a neurological condition. This is just the way we are. And it's not dangerous. It's nothing like that. It can be embarrassing. And I think the whole problem with it is mostly just the way that society looks at us as people with Tourette's. And if people just understood the disorder a bit more, it really wouldn't have to be such a problem. And yeah, we should only have to take medication if that is something that we want and if it works for us, because it doesn't work for everyone. But again, there are other options as well, such as there's a surgery, which is deep brain surgery. Again, not something everyone is going to want. And there are therapy options, which I just made a video about last week. So check it out right there. If you have Tourette's or know someone with Tourette's, I'm really interested in how that works. But again, that's also not for everyone. And again, you shouldn't have to treat something if it only bothers other people. I mean, if it doesn't bother you or if you can live with it, don't do it, right?
I don't take any meds.
I've never had you need to take. Actually, no. Yeah, I have.
I mean, like medication does help some people, but it doesn't help other people.
I'm very receptive to medications, which is great.
I'd much rather be myself and tick than not tick and just be a zombie.
Yeah, but I do hate it.
Hey,
You never wish it upon anyone.
Of course, this conversation was really cut, so I'm sure that the person just right before wasn't saying that I hate medication because it makes you a zombie. But like I said, those types of medication for some people, it's really rough medication and it's not worth it. And for others, it is. I'm really pro medication. I take a lot of medication, but that type of medication is just not something that I want to add to that mix because it just doesn't work. Ayo! And I don't think that people should have to completely chemically lobotomize themselves just because it's easier for their environment to not be offended by a neurological condition. Because again, a neurological condition is not offensive. Okay, all right.
But obviously, as you get older, I've like found the right balance now.
It might be difficult now, but it's not going to stay difficult. You're going to find a way through and actually come out with the positivity at the end.
It's definitely given me a better understanding into disabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
And understanding and being more understanding.
Tourette's is a part of us, but it's not what makes us tick. Is it a clock? Is it a really good? Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh wait, it restarted. That's where I was triggered. Oh my, whoa. Yeah, oh my God, I'm able to talk 30 minutes about a 6-minute video, but I hope you enjoyed it anyways. Tell me what you thought, what are your experiences if you have Tourette's with people saying that type of stuff to people with Tourette's. If you don't have Tourette's, have you ever said one of those comments or things to someone with Tourette's? No shame, again, our community is very non-shaming. We're all here to learn. And I think it's more important to just have an honest conversation about this stuff, even though I got maybe a little bit salty at some point. Anyways, I hope you have a great day wherever you are. I love you all so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.